Welcome to the openers of the Unoriginal Quickbuilds tournament. The rules are simple. 2 contestants have 30 minutes, a 24 by 24 block arena, and a theme just given to them. If one can beat the other in scale, detail, and originality for a score out of 30, they move on to the intermediates, and perhaps on to winning the Rose Cup. Liam, go ahead, say anything if you'd like to say anything.
Hi guys. Look, Mum, I'm on TV.
So if you come to the very first platform here, you'll notice that there are beacons all along the way, which are giving you speed 2. We're going to pick a theme as well, and we're going to get a 30-second timer on... 30-minute, 30-second timer. You're going to have the opportunity to increase your speed even more by stepping on these pressure plates here and getting some speed potions. Don't do it now, because obviously there's only 9 and you only have those to work with. If either of you know how to use the /fill command, you can use it to fill in your platforms. If not, feel free to tell one of the judges what you would like to /fill your bit with, as in like the stone. Change the stone to a singular block. You get 1 of those. So if you suddenly decide to change your build, too bad. So maybe you want to build the thing on top first and then change the ground. Whatever it is, you get 1 /fill command, whether it's you using it, which I would actually advise against because I don't want anyone to accidentally cover the entire world with stone and then, you know, the world is ruined. So if you would feel more comfortable just letting Michael, Ethan, who both know how to use the fill command, do it, then that would be fine as well. So if you're all keyed up on the rules, don't have any questions, we can go ahead and pick the first theme of this lovely tournament. Oh, there are so many chickens down here. I don't know if you guys would like to see how this process works, but if you would, I'm down in the pit at spawn. But basically what I do is I stand here in this pit and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trap doors, and I'm going to throw an egg above all the trap doors until a chicken pops out. Then I'm going to flip the trap door and a theme is going to be under there, and that's the theme we're going to go with. Oh, well, that was quick.
What is the theme?
The theme is medieval. Very broad, very nice, good old-fashioned medieval. You guys will get permissions shortly, don't worry about that. As soon as you are ready to start. For now, just get your blocks.
Do the judges, when the building starts, want to move into a different VC, or...?
Yeah, so how this is going to work VC-wise on Discord is one of you can stay here in Comp 2, the other one can go to Comp 1, and the judges and I will go to
Bounce around
the council VC.
Mr. Judge, can you /fill my plot with moss?
Fill it in grass. Yes. Okay, grass. Great. We can get the show on the road in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have 30 minutes. Go ahead. I mean, moss is an interesting... I'm very excited to see how he turns.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you kind of missed your...
welcome to that fucking the thing.
The thing, you know the thing. We all know the thing.
Okay.
Looks like
Looks very thingy.
Castle Wing is using some oak wood and some stone.
I so badly don't want that. So I don't know how he's going to turn moss into not looking, you know, like a very repetitive pattern that kind of detracts from the build in my eyes overall. But
I'm
anyway,
quite interested
grass
in
is
Cooking's build here.
Yeah, grass is the better choice. However, he does seem to be building the worst choice for medieval, which is the current build. I really like this guy's build though. Liam's build is looking snazzy.
I'm trying to figure out what Cooking is trying to build here, because it is a bit off center.
Maybe it's not the main build. Maybe it's just some like extra texture for the landscape.
Yeah.
They're both on phone, which is interesting because I can't. I know Alex is on phone. Maybe Liam's on iPad or something, but I know I could never build anything on either of those versions. So I'm definitely going to keep that in mind when I start judging. And it is very interesting to see these as the first builds. Maybe this will allow people from all breadths of Bedrock editions, you know, to feel comfortable to join. Because... I mean,
I'm going to be honest, looking at it so far, scale, both of them have a quite equal scale. Detail...
Exactly, yeah. I mean, detail is interesting because, I mean, his structure, Liam's structure is great.
It's got some difference, yeah, but...
Yeah, but, you know, in terms of block palette, it's not It's not off the, it's not crazy
I
like.
will say, in terms of originality,
remember,
the house is kind of the rock is kind of seems like a better idea.
Remember, originality does not mean original, because we had this problem before. Originality is how originally did they interpret this theme so that it still connects to the theme, you know, that it's not completely different. Because if this still has nothing to do with medieval like it currently does by the end of this.
This motherfucker building a statue.
He's building fucking Arthur's sword. Oh my god. Oh my god, he's building Arthur's sword. Oh my god.
And he's, by the looks of it, he's not building it off reference. He's just.
Oh no, he's definitely not building that motherfucker off reference. Oh, I didn't tell them about the reference rules. Oh well. Either way, if they can recreate an entire build from an image they saw online, that's kind of impressive as it is, because you know that's only one dimension, whereas this would be.
And if he is on his phone, then this is even more fucking.
Yeah, because he'd be having to switch between that. I mean, we shouldn't be praising him if he is cheating. I'm assuming he isn't. Okay, now it's a syringe. I think Liam here is having a classic case of not understanding how long 30 minutes is, because I've had that in the past. You think you've got all the time in the world, but it just flies. Like 24 minutes are now left. That's like almost a third of their time. Alex is going for a mega build in the sense that, you know, sorry, macro build in the sense that like it's a built up version of something.
I mean, the base and the sword is done, but however, if that is just it of the build,
I'm sure he'll realize when we're gonna go in there again at 15 minutes to tell them they have half time, and then again at 5 minutes to tell them to, you know, speed up. And I think once he realizes he still has 15 minutes after fucking around for the next, let's say 7, you know, if he doesn't do anything more, he'll realize, oh shit, maybe I should add something. But for now, I think both of them are spending a bit. Oh, that's a leap of faith. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see.
I will say the sword looks very nice. He did the different stuff in the blade, but I feel like if he did logs in the actual main part of the sword in the middle, that would actually. It's interesting.
His variety in the sword and the stone is not mirrored by his variety in the hilt until now. Maybe. What's he doing? Oh, he's adding a ribbon. That's cool. That's cool. I like that.
The famous Angry Birds build.
Right. Yeah. No. Ethan's.
That shit was out of memory, dog.
It was.
Oh, he's adding white shit to the sword. What is this?
That's.
He's getting a fucking hand.
Oh my god, he really is going macro build.
So this sword build is pretty cool, but I'm thinking with the addition to the hand, he's gonna have to do an arm. Where the fuck is that arm gonna go, and where's it gonna stop?
Oh shit, I didn't tell them about the obsidian rule. That looked kind of cool. That would be like we live in a society, you know, like a ripped off arm connected to a sword. Oh man, imagine he made it bleeding. Like, oh god, that would be gross.
I mean, I'm gonna guess I am gonna judge on these guys' ankles. I will deduct some points because of that.
Right, no, of course. I mean, if they're expecting us to only look from one angle, that's terrible. But just remember, I'm the in the middle marker. Ethan's the good marker, and Michael's the fuck up marker, right? That's just our personality type.
I'm not like, I'm gonna fuck
so
this
don't,
guy
if
up.
we all fuck them up, they're gonna get like 3 points. If we all mark like
No,
Michael.
I mean, I'll
Okay, I've gotta hop into the other BCs to tell them they have half time. All right, Liam, I'm here to tell you have half time or 15 minutes left, and I wanted to know how you're currently feeling about your build and what you're planning for the rest of it.
Well, I think it's going okay. I've got to do this whole upper half, which I should probably start work on now. And then it's not fantastically detailed, but maybe I'll have a little bit of time at the end to scatter some random blocks about.
All right. Well, good luck to you, mate. You've got 15 minutes on your hands, give or take. And now I'm going to go move on to asking Liam the same question, although it might be a bit harder for him to respond. Anyway, by the way, just one rule about obsidian, the obsidian border, you're allowed to build over it. So if something's hanging over it, it's fine. But the second it extends over the obsidian, as in like past the actual block and upwards, it's out of bounds. Hello, Alex. I know it's going to be difficult for you to answer, but I just want to ask how you feel about your build at the moment and what you're planning for the rest of it.
With the bright blue and the bright red, and then this cold fucking white and grey right in the middle, it kind of looked a bit too much. but then what he's doing, it's kind of fixed quite nicely.
I think it's a nice contrast with the simplistic hand. I think I've got to remember to remind people that I did go through the effort of making this world able to dig downwards as much as you'd like. Well, to the limit.
And right? look. Cook's now adding more. He's added.
Oh yeah. We've just hit the 10-minute mark, and he's adding a second part to his build. Interesting.
Oh, this is about 20 minutes.
I really hope he's not spelling something. I would really hate that.
Spelling something.
Oh god.
He's plugging his YouTube.
YouTube.com/.
Yes, YouTube/.
This is. I'm really liking how Liam's is turning out. Look at the front. Let's check out this detail with the grinders and the chain. It's looking very nice. I feel like they're missing he's missing the part that is a quick build though, you know. Ooh, he's going for one of those roofs, the medieval roofs. Remember the theme here, people. You know those German houses that have those white.
There's only one German house I know.
Interlacing.
Being a complete dick, it kind of looks like a little bit of a chair. Just looking on this handful.
Oh yeah.
I see what you mean. It looks like a really cool toilet. But here's an interesting thing. What is Cooking doing right now?
I have no idea. Maybe it's air particle, like he's trying to show like his hand movements or something. I'm really not sure. We have to let them explain, and I'm gonna remind them of that.
I can kind of see this as like
maybe it's clouds. I don't know.
These were people who were
That's a good point. Oh, it's their bony hands attached to the. Oh yeah, it's people who tried to lift it for so long. You know, they just like, you know, when blood flushes to your head and you just get knocked out, and that's very creative.
That's cool.
Hello, Liam. I am here to say that we are a few seconds away from 5 minutes being done. And I just wanted to mention also that you do get a chance, once your build's complete, you get a chance to run through it, explain it. You know, if there's anything interpretable about it, you get to explain that to us before we start marking. How are you feeling right now?
Okay, to be honest.
I
think I'll make it. I just need to finish this roof.
All right. Good luck. I'm not going to ask the other guy how he's feeling. I'm just going to tell him that there's 5 minutes left because I don't want him to waste any time messaging. I'm really just in awe that these guys are fucking building on Pocket Edition.
Whoa, he's being smart. Yeah, he's showing dirt. So he's grabbing the sword and the hands are grabbing him.
Oh, I see. So it's the zombies. Ooh. In 3, 2, 1. Oh shit, Alright, everybody, the time has come, and now you both get the grand opportunity to explain your builds. We're going to start with Liam so that Alex gets a chance to type his explanation.
Well, originally I was just going to do our classic rustic house, because I've been building chalets recently, so I thought I'd go with that.
Alright.
And then I thought, well, I need a bit of, like, fortification to make it medieval, so I put a wall here.
Okay, the wall, yeah, nice touch.
But the time limit was kind of difficult.
Right,
there's a
restricting.
lot of details that have been missed down, a bit of random block placement.
Yeah, of course.
But otherwise, I'm quite happy with it. I'm also interested because these two builds that we've made are really different. So I don't know how you're going to judge this.
Well, we're going to judge it by our metric here, which is scale, detail, and originality. But we hear both of you out first before we start judging anything. And then we will convene in the council VC so that we can just get everything in order. Just as it happens, whoever loses is not out of the tournament permanently. So if one of you will lose, and whoever that is. All right, brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's
now that we've heard both of your cases, I'm going to assume both of you would say that the time limit was questionable, and the fact that you were both on Pocket Edition, I mean,
it's very impressive.
Really blew me out of the water. The fact that you were able to build, there's no chance I could build this on my phone, not a fuck. But I am looking, I'm looking at the other, the casual quick builds we did. I know most of them, no, actually, I think only one of them went over time, but the rest, we were able to do in the time limit, and I think that they are complete builds in and of themselves, and they look all right. So if chumps like us are able to do it, I do think 30 minutes as it stands is still adequate time. But as time goes forward, if every single contestant in the openers considers 30 minutes too long, what I might do is increase the increment as we go further, which is kind of the opposite of what I should probably do, make it harder as you go forward. But I want to adjust for the general populace. So if everybody thinks this is way too short, then I will increase it to 45 for the intermediates, and maybe even an hour for the quarterfinals onwards, but we'll see how it goes with the rest of the openers. I think Ethan's build here of the theme, what was it? Modern is probably the best example of mixing detail with size, you know? So he filled in the landscape in a way that didn't require a lot of detail, but it filled it in very nicely because roads are obviously flat. So he didn't have to work on the fact that roads were completely flat. It was flat ground, but it looks more than that. But for now, we're gonna go into Cool Gang or the council and convene on the 3 topics and come back and let you guys know your scores and what's going down. We're gonna do them all in increments. So we're gonna do scale, detail, originality, so we don't have a full score in mind to compare by. So let's start with scale on Liam's here.
It's pretty average, I guess.
I mean, I'm instantly thinking a 6 or a 7. I
think 6. I think 6 is fine because I was gonna say 5 or 6.
I was gonna say 5 or 6 as well. So if do you guys want to convene on 6 then? It seems to be the common...
the reason why I thought 6 was for the width of it. It obviously doesn't cover it covers a good amount of it, but not too much. Height-wise, really nice.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's why that gave it this 6.
Okay, we're gonna move on to scale and Alex's build. It is
once again height again.
The height is great, but I mean, there's pretty much the same amount of space on the actual
I would say
board
6.
is unfilled.
Yeah.
I would
I would just count 6 as well, only because like there's so much empty space.
I know, yeah, the empty space. I mean, if he kept going with those arms, you know, put dirt everywhere and shit.
Yeah, are we happy with going a 6 as well?
Yeah, 6 as well. Detail. I think okay, interior empty, exterior brilliantly detailed. I love it. That's my take.
I'm thinking
very creative detail on the exterior. And as far as I know, I think the rule I made for detail was we only take into account the detail of what was built. We don't take into account like the context of it being a very small build or something. Like we leave scale in scale and originality in originality. It's about the detail of what is here. And I think aside from the interior, if he had put in the interior, I probably would have pushed it up to an 8, 7.5 maybe.
I'm also thinking a 7. I mean, the detail of like the wall, like he actually did different bricks on this one wall, but then didn't do too many different ones in the main house. The wood, I think he could have mixed it a bit more, but I definitely, you know what, actually, fuck.
I think
I'm actually thinking a 6.
So I do like, I'm a huge fan of like there being light in the middle of the build because, you know, they were building in day for most of this. So like the fact that he even thought to put in lighting in it, I'm still pretty solid with the 7.5.
Do you guys want to middle road it on 6.5 or 7?
I mean, if the majority of us go 7, then I'll pass on a 7.
Well, I mean, Michael did say 7.5, and I said 7. You said like 6, so I think 7's a good middle road.
7, yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna go detail on Alex's.
I really, speaking on detail on this, I like the fact that the stone uses different bricks than the actual sword. I think that's a really nice touch. Yeah, exactly.
The arms as well are different. You can tell that they're different blocks.
Yeah, even the bone is quartz, and there's quartz and ice, and then there's actual bone.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the grass, he uses rooted dirt.
There is a lot. Yeah, you know what? On what is here,
7.
The detail is great. I would say 8. I would say 8.
Honestly, I'm going to go all the way to 8.5.
Yeah.
8.5.
I'm ignoring the fact that there's grass everywhere. You know, like untouched grass of what is built. It's very detailed.
I'm supposed to be the nice judge. I'm out here giving him a fucking 7.5.
Yeah. We're gonna middle ground this though, so like basically an average of our score. So I'm saying 8. Ethan's saying
I can go 7.5.
7.5. All right. And Michael, what are you saying?
I can say 7.5.
Okay, so then 7.5, and 8 would make it 7.5 because we're not doing 7 and a fucking 3/4. We're not doing that bullshit. So 7.5. Okay, so then we're gonna go to originality. Here's where Liam's build comes into a bit of a roadblock. I will say it doesn't. I don't think this whole I don't think it's very common to use bone block in a medieval build, and he used it really well, like really nice.
Yeah,
I think that's a very nice
he also did mix different types. So he did this looped, obviously this really this weird roof. Then he also did outstanding logs, which is also a mix, as well as the stone and the bone. You're right, it is quite different.
But as far as medieval goes, when you think medieval, I'm pretty sure this is probably the most give or take a few design choices. Probably the most basic image that comes into mind is
Yeah, you
this-
could obviously put this in, like you could say this is the blacksmith, this is the tavern, this is the whatever you could kind of put any name to this, really. I mean, he also did say when he was talking to us that he's been building this quite recently and he thought of just doing something the same.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a bit of, does mark it a little bit.
Yeah. So I
does look a little bit like
wouldn't give him a great score for originality. I would probably say
I would say a 6 or 7. 6.5.
I'd probably say 5.
Yeah, I was saying close to 5 because this is like the generic half-ton version.
Nah, I went down. I could go 5.5 and 5. That's 5.5, but I'll stay with that. That's generous.
Then finally, originality. I think this is great. I think the
Yeah.
hands coming out of the
Yeah.
dirt. I mean, that was such a nice
maybe
touch.
based off
Or
of Excalibur or
Docking
something like
Point based
that.
off the King Arthur thing. And then
Yeah,
the
which
sword.
is classic
So,
medieval.
like, if it was just the sword, it would be a 5, but because of the hands, it's like,
No, exactly, because I don't
I'm
remember
sorry.
in that story, I don't remember hands coming out to grab King
No,
Arthur,
yeah, no, that's-
or a
yeah.
ribbon on the sword, or
Yeah.
even the sword looking like this in design. The sword didn't look
However,
like that.
I would be inclined to give this, for originality, I'd be inclined to give this a 7.5.
Yeah, I can agree on that. 7.5. Yeah.
What about
I'll
you,
go
Michael?
with the 7.
You would want to go to 7. Well, then I think majority vote is
Yeah, we
7.5.
can do 7 and up.
So on Liam's side, it's 18, and then on Alex's side, it's 21.